Good, happy Saturday morning, everyone. I'm Riley King, and welcome to the Riley King Newscast right here on the Riley King Network. Let's begin. First up, hearing held to address concerns of Indonesian immigrants facing deportation. Let's take a listen to the video from WMUR News 9, Jennifer Crompton.
McMulkin Cadillac offers you a better driving experience with the new 2007 XT5 crossover. Lease for $349 a month. This is Cadillac. This is McMulkin Cadillac.
Ongoing vigils at the federal building in Manchester are meant to protest the increase in immigrants facing deportation, including about 70 Indonesian Christians on the seacoast. The first wave got orders in August to leave within 60 days, among them Terry Rombot, in jail since. They fled religious persecution some decades ago, some saying Indonesia is considered even more dangerous for them now.
We believe that if our clients are sent back, they will be in severe danger.
A vigil outside federal court in Boston Friday, attorneys asking a judge for more time to have their individual cases heard. Since 2010, ICE had ongoing orders of supervision with the group that extended their stays, allowing them to live and work and raise families in New Hampshire, as long as they checked in regularly and stayed out of trouble.
They themselves explained at the time that it was humanitarian in order to permit them to come out of the shadows.
An ICE official from New Hampshire testified here that things changed in the spring of 2017, that the Secretary of Homeland Security directed them to remove all illegal aliens, not just those involved in criminal activity, but all of them.
All of a sudden now, the administration says they have to be removed, and not only do they have to be removed, but they have to be removed so quickly that we're not even going to give them time to go to immigration court to file claims for asylum and under the Convention Against Torture.
ICE attorneys argue immigrants should have prepared all along for this possibility. The judge wants to figure out a fair time period before she rules. As for Terry Rombot, she's asked ICE to work with his attorney to get him out of jail.
He's never done anything of violence. He's got a very good record. He works for the church. So she's very sympathetic.
In Boston, Jennifer Crompton, WMUR News 9.
Okay, and there you go on that report. Man arrested after dragging injured dog down driveway, police say. Let's take a listen to this video from WCVB Boston.
Free personal and free business checking accounts really are free. You get all these benefits and services free with no strings attached. To open yours, visit any Commerce Bank location or bankatcommerce.com.
It's just a sad situation. It's terrible. I don't understand it.
Neighbors say the puppy was crying in pain as a man was dragging him down this driveway at 3 Friday morning.
It's a terrible situation. I just can't fathom how somebody could do that to an animal. And continuously like that, knowing you're hurting that dog and you just don't give up on that.
This neighbor confronted the man and then called police.
I asked if the dog was okay. He told me my dog is fine.
We're told the dog suffered multiple fractures and bruises, its lungs filled with fluid, and there was evidence of strangulation.
He was dragging the dog through the backyard and was bleeding from the mouth and coughing up blood.
Police arrested 22-year-old Mark Hurd, charging him with animal cruelty. Another neighbor says this isn't the first time he's seen the dog abused.
A couple of nights ago, he was out there with a stick. And, he was hitting the dog with a stick. And he told us to mind our own business.
Caretakers have now set up a GoFundMe account to raise money for mounting medical costs, just hoping the dog they've renamed Chance will get a second chance.
Those cries are something that you'll never forget. It's terrible.
And that suspect, he is still behind bars tonight. His bail was revoked because of unrelated drug charges.
Okay, and there you go on that report. Community reacts after football coach accused of telling players to taunt opponent. Let's take a listen to this video from WMTW News 8 in Maine.
Between seasons is a great time to get your car serviced. We'll check the alignment, we can tune the engine to make sure that you've got safe and reliable transportation, to make sure that your car is ready for the upcoming season. I'm Glenn, service manager at Patriot Subaru, Route 1 Saco.
Tracy, first off, the Yarmouth mother who says her son was targeted by a coach from Grey New Gloucester met with school officials today. She says she appreciates the show of support the family is receiving. So Lynn Eckersley-Ray says she became aware of this after players from Grey New Gloucester spoke up and told their parents and a school official that their coach, Dwayne Grayton, urged his players to taunt her son, who's a quarterback for Yarmouth. The coach allegedly telling players to say, quote, "Who's your daddy?" every time they tackled him because he has two mothers. The moms were outraged when they learned about this. The coach has since resigned, and today we asked the superintendent, what's next? He says this, quote, "We want all of our students to take pride in themselves and their school and to continue to understand the importance of respect for themselves and others." Parents and residents, meanwhile, reacting to this story, one saying she's glad the coach is gone.
I'm shocked that people are, and I tend to be a very conservative person. I'm a conservative person, but I find this morally reprehensible. I think it's great that the kids, recognized that it was wrong and stopped it, especially with an adult mentor telling them that it was okay. I applaud the boys.
We've reached out several times to Dwayne Grayton for a comment. He told us yesterday he wanted to tell us his side of the story, but he has not returned our emails today. Live in the studio, Jim Keithley, WMTW News 8.
Okay, and there you go on that report. General Kelly admits Trump is a big part of the problem. Let's take a listen to the video from ABC News.
He called 4 people the other day and expressed his condolences in the best way that he could. And he said to me, "What do I say?" I said to him, "Sir, there's nothing you can do to lighten the burden on these families. But let me tell you what I tell them. And let me tell you what my best friend, Joe Dunford, told me, because he was my casualty officer. He said, Kel, he was doing exactly what he wanted to do when he was killed. He knew what he was getting into by joining that 1%. He knew what the possibilities were because we're at war. And when he died, in the 4 cases we're talking about, in Niger, my son's case in Afghanistan, when he died, he was surrounded by the best men on this earth, his friends. That's what the president tried to say to 4 families the other day. I was stunned when I came to work yesterday morning and brokenhearted at what I saw and remember Congress doing. A member of Congress who listened in on a phone call from the President of the United States to a young wife, and in his way tried to express that opinion. He's a brave man, a fallen hero. He knew what he was getting himself into because he enlisted. There's no reason to enlist. He enlisted. And he was where he wanted to be, exactly where he wanted to be, with exactly the people he wanted to be with when his life was taken. That was the message. That was the message that was transmitted. It stuns me that a member of Congress would have listened in on that conversation. Absolutely stuns me. And I thought, at least that was sacred.
Okay, and there you go on that video and things. And that does it for the Riley King newscast right here on the Riley King Network. I hope you all have a great rest of your Saturday, and I'll see you back here later on today. Goodbye, everyone.